running South Africa very tight. Now, Nepal ran South Africa very tight, but in a completely different way in the World Cup. But USA was mighty impressive. And yet, part of the reason why Nepal couldn't get that first ever victory over Test Nation in the World Cup was their batting was so brittle. And that's what's been so impressive about this series. Their batting has been really stern in the face of this USA bowling. And they've been sturdy. They've been robust. Whether it's the running between the wickets, as they've now brought up a 14th run two in that last over, 13th and 14th run two to end that last over. And again, USA just 9. It's those little things, those subtle things that have made such a big difference in the series and have made a tremendous impact. USA can't cut off the twos in the field. Nepal is running them at will between the wickets. And then when USA is at the crease, they've struggled to turn ones into twos, as Nepal in the field has been relentless attacking the ball.
3 required to win. Don't rule out Kushal Malla finishing it in grand style here. It's dragged down, it's hammered away, but it will be 1 bounce to the fielder. And maybe it's fitting, given Kushal Bertel's performances over the last 48 hours, that it will be he who can hit the winning runs.
And on the flip side, if you're USA, Nash Kenjige is somebody who typically it's impossible to wipe the smile off his face. He's the happiest guy in the field, wherever he is for USA. Just look at the look on his face. That also sums up where USA is at in the series. He's got a very serious look.
Full toss, but it's straight to the man. So it's going to be Malla. Knowing Kushal Malla, Peter, he's not going to be tapping a single here.
Well, and USA, I think, knows that, Lenny, because even though scores are level, they've still got 5 guys on the boundary. They're not looking to stop the one, they're looking for the boundary catch. Play to Kushal Malla's ego. Now Kenjige's saying, oh, we want to bring Yasser Muhammad in, but they still got long off, long on, deep mid-wicket, and a deep backward square leg in place. When's the last time you saw scores level and 4 men on the boundary, Lenny?
Here we go. Scores are tied. And Malla will just punch it for a single. There's no need to do any more than that. And listen to the roar of the crowd. It's a historic, a famous, a landmark Himalayan clean sweep in Texas. It's the first time that Nepal have ever taken a whitewash in any T20I series. They've done it over a side that went to the Super 8 of the T20 World Cup here on home soil. They came in as underdogs, but they will leave as comfortable victors. There will be joy across Nepal this morning, on a Monday morning, back at home. But tonight, under the floodlights on a Sunday night in Texas, Nepal have made history. Nepal 3, USA 0.
And the smiles on the faces of these fans say it all. They've got the phones out. They want to capture this moment for posterity's sake. It's been so much for them to smile about. USA, on the other hand, hardly any smiles as they walk off the field. And they've got a lot to think about over the next 4 days before the first ODI on Friday against Scotland. They just haven't been up to the mark. As Monak Patel leads the handshake line for USA, they look to get off the field in a hurry. On the flip side, Nepal, they're preparing themselves for another victory lap, Lenny, as the fans are hanging around. They're expecting it. They want to provide that adulation for the Nepal players, and the Nepal players are only too keen to soak it up and burn this image into their memories.
Great work from the DJ, because Nepali Ho is ringing around the Grand Prairie Stadium for the 3rd time. That famous song by 1974 AD that, alongside the official Nepal team victory song, has become synonymous with Nepali victories, but think about everything that's gone so right. You saw a smile as broad as the sun on the face of the national team captain Rohit Paudel, Kushal Bertel, the leading run scorer in the series, Sampal Kami, the leading wicket taker, Karen KC with the heroics with the ball and indeed with the bat with that final ball 6, the most economical bowler of the series, Raj Banshi and Karen KC. And we haven't even mentioned Dipendra Singh Airi yet, who excelled at everything that he did throughout these 3 games. The posters say it all. The Nepal fans were here to support the Rhino Warriors, and they have been quite simply inspired by those fans into what is going to be a 3-0 series victory that will live long in the memory and set things up so brilliantly for that incredibly challenging series now against the host USA and that fine Scottish side. But the night, and indeed the 3 nights of this Stake Stars and Summits Trophy 2024, it belongs to Nepal. They are 3-0 series winners.
Well, an 8-wicket victory with 8 balls to spare. The exclamation point on this series for Nepal. He came in with a 2-0 lead, and in case anybody thought they got lucky 24 hours earlier, well, they put that to bed because this was a fairly one-sided match. They were disciplined with the ball, disciplined in the field, and dominant with the bat. Asif Sheikh top scoring with a half century before Kushal Bertel and Kushal Malla with a half century partnership to take Nepal across the line.
Well, being frank, Peter, this was a hammering. The other there wasn't many games that were like this in the series. The other 2 matches were very much tightly fought. In fact, one went all the way to the super over. But as we look now at the bowling card, we will see that there was no joy for the USA bowlers whatsoever. Janoy Drysdale did at least have something to cheer into the team. And then Jasdeep Singh was the other one to take a wicket. But that's it, as Nepal win by 8 wickets. And as is the tradition for this Nepal side, win, lose or draw, it's all about this lap of honour to thank their fans who, wherever Nepal play, whether it be in Africa, in Asia or here in America or in Europe, wherever they go, the Nepal fans, they follow in a big way. And it's a culture that Monty Desai is insistent upon, whether they win or they lose, or even if they tie, they end up going around and thanking the fans. And the fans, they've had a real night out, Peter.
If they had fun this weekend, there's still plenty more fun in store for them during the ODIs. Reminder to everybody that there's still 6 ODIs coming up. The first one on Friday between USA and Scotland, but Nepal will be playing USA on the weekend on both occasions. They'll be playing Sunday, the first ODI between these 2 sides, a week from today, and it'll be on October 27th when Nepal gets into action again here in Grand Prairie Stadium. And that will start at 10:30 in the morning local time, but I'm expecting a healthy turnout for that as well, based on the joy on the faces of these Nepalese faithful here in Grand Prairie over the course of the last 3 matches.
Yeah, it should be a super Sunday. And just whilst that man is in shot, in fact 3 of the men in shot there, Justin Gill from Major League Cricket alongside Mervyn Pereira down at the bottom, and David White. Also shout outs for Zubin Zarkari and for Josh Dascombe and plenty more. Josh Dascombe there in the red shorts at the back. The Major League Cricket team, who have really kind of been assisting USA Cricket run this series because they own this venue, obviously, at Grand Prairie. They have done an exceptional job, haven't they?
Well, they've got their poker faces on, Lenny, because they're trying to keep a straight face because it is a USA home series after all, and USA has lost 3 matches here. But on the inside, they're thrilled at the turnout. The ticket sales have been healthy here. They've generated a good turnout, good revenue, and not just the ticket sales, but the beverage sales have been plentiful as well, Lenny.
Well, yeah, certainly. You see Roe Powell there. I don't know if we can zoom in on that. The captain at the very top of the shot. He's just going over to get a selfie with some of the fans. They do so much right, don't they? I know these are little things, but people give up their time. And, you know, we saw before play, lots of the Nepal players give up their time for moments. And these are magical moments. This is what our sport is all about. They're great ambassadors for their country. They're great ambassadors for the game. You and I, we both love cricket, Peter, but we're big advocates for the associate game. And these are pretty iconic and halcyon shots for the associate match, for the associate sport even. Wherever
they go, I remember their first ODI series after getting ODI status, going to the Netherlands, playing at the VRA in Amstelveen in 2018, and Paras Kotka taking the bottle of champagne to spray the fans after they beat the Netherlands by 1 run on a last ball run up by Paras Kotka. And whether it's spraying the fans with a champagne bottle in Amstelveen or coming out here and soaking up a victory lap in Grand Prairie, wherever Nepal goes, somewhere, somehow, the Nepalese fans...
They find a way.
They find a way to get through the gates and support their team. That's how much they love their cricket and their national team.
It's been exceptional. Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage from up here. We'll take a short break now in a moment, because on the other side of this break, not altogether too far away, we're going to have the post-series presentation. We'll see the trophy awarded. We'll get down pitch side for that. Aman Patel will be your MC, and we want to thank you so much for watching. It's been a real privilege to bring you this coverage. For me, Andrew Leonard, for Peter Della Penna, my co-commentator, and for all of the backroom team, for Rob, for Umair, for all of our cameramen who did such an amazing job in what was sometimes some pretty chilly conditions out there. We want to thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere too far. You'll see Nepal lifting the stake. Start.